Hey guys, it's Alex here, and I am back with, as you can see by the title, something different. This is my attempt at the world record for the longest Football Manager save. This has been ongoing for quite a long time. To give you a little bit of backstory into it, this save was actually started, and you can see the start of it on YouTube. If you go back through, you can see the actual first ever initial point, which was FM12, which is where I randomly clicked a pick a team for me, and I settled on Afan Lido, or I think the correct pronunciation is Avan Lido, I think. And that is where my sort of journey to this point has started. I basically just wanted to try and win the Champions League with a Welsh team. I couldn't do it in FM12 or 13 or 14, but in 15, if you watch it, I think it's the Afan Lido story, we actually do win it. We win the Champions League in 2035, and from that point on, I kept playing it because I was like, oh, this is pretty fun, and I just kept going, and I kept going, and I tried to get a new stadium, and I did. And then I wanted to try and get a 100,000-seater stadium, and I did. And I kept going, and then I went, well, maybe I'll try and do it at a different club. And I kept going, and then I started sort of looking at them, and maybe we can start looking at the world record at this point. So to give you some backstory on the world record, the original world record was, I've got my notes here, 154 years by Darren Bland. I think that was probably one of the big ones initially, and that was 154 years with Fiorentina, and that was the first sort of known story on it. I think that was 2016 that came out. Obviously, this is pretty around the time when I was doing FM. Then maybe a year later, it was broken by Seb Keenan, 170 years in FM. That was with a number of clubs. That was I think he was at Oxford, he was at Real Madrid, he was at Barcelona. And it stayed at 170 for quite a while, and then I think a couple of years later, maybe 20, I don't even know, 2018 maybe, Michael Leniak, I think it is, he broke that record even further, 221 years with just one club, Lech Poznan, and that was when I really started to look at the world record. I was going, I can get there, I can get to that point, and I can get the world record. And then in 2019... disaster struck, and the world record was broken again by a man named Sepp Hedl, and he set the record at 333 years, and that's a long time. I think he did it with FC United of Manchester, then he went to India for 200 years or something, and then you came back to the Premier League with Hereford, I think it was. So that is the current goal of 333 years, and where I am at currently, I am currently at 225 years, 224 full seasons, 225 years. I'm currently in the year 2240. So I would have broken the old record. I'm currently second, I think, unless there's anyone that hasn't reported on their world record. I'm currently second, but I've still got 109 years to go to beat this record. And what I thought would be fun is to start streaming it and start making videos on it, just to document it, because I know you need to show that you haven't holidayed. I've got that there, but I want to sort of start streaming it and showing people. And this is funny because it's Football Manager 15, so it's 6 years old already. It's taken a long time for me to get here, and I think it will probably take a longer time to get to the record. But I'm committed. We will get to that record. So that is the current aim. I want to show you the save. If I show you the save here, where is it? Here we go. Here is the save. As you can see in the top right-hand corner, we are on the 24th of May, 2240. And we have just finished the season. As you can see by the fixture list, we've dominated. We've just won the Champions League versus Benfica, 3-2. We're currently still in the Welsh League with a club called Haverfordwest. I'll give you a little bit of history on my journey personally. If we go to my profile, obviously we started at Afan Lido, as I like to call them, back in 2015. It does take a lot of time to load certain things in the game. As you can see here, I don't even know if I want to click job history. It might take a while. It will take a while. There we go. Here we go. So we started with Avon Lido in 2015-16, and it took us a few years to win the. It's a bit glitched out here. There's some 72nd places because we had to switch the save over from a laptop to the Premier League, and after a while it gets a bit broken. And this is actually recorded, most of this up until, I think, 2035. I think that's our first Champions League title. Is it right there? Yes, there it is. You can see it right there. And I kept going. We kept going all the way through. I had a 3-month period as a Spain manager, and I said, I don't want to do it anymore, and I want to leave the international scene alone and see what happens without my interference. And we kept going until 2077, and I thought I needed a change. So I went to the actual local rivals, Port Talbot. I didn't realise at the time they were the local rivals. They were just a job open at the time. So I went to Port Talbot and I went, okay, well now let's try and build this club up. Can we topple the giant that is Afan Lido, the team that have won the Premier League 60 times in a row or something like that? And it took us a few years. It only took 3 or 4 years, to be fair, to get a good side, because we were just buying whoever we wanted and whatnot. And I tried to get some new stadiums and win the Champions League with Port Talbot. So from 2077, we took on them. We got some new stadiums. We won the Champions League a lot. And then we got to 21-23 when I went, okay, now we move on to the next one. And I went to Penny Bont. It's terrible pronunciation of it. I know it's in full Welsh, it's a very different, and this took a lot longer. The problem was with this side is I set myself a challenge. My challenge was that I was only going to sign youth players and Welsh players. So this was ridiculously hard. This is probably one of the hardest challenges I've done. And as you can see here, I think we had a good 10 years of just hitting 4th, 2nd, 3rd, and then finally we got 1st. And from that point on, we sort of never looked back. And then and we wanted to win the Champions League. Obviously, we did that. And then I sort of opened it up and I could sign more players. So then we took on them for another 40 years, I think it was. And I went, okay, 21-17, that's a good round number. We'll stop there. And then I took on Haverfordwest. And now I was like, okay, only signing 3 players. No transfer fees at all until we win the Champions League. And this one was quite quick, actually. Free transfers are quite easy. It took only 3 or 4 seasons, and we won the league. And then we went on to win the Champions League and do everything else there. I don't know why there's... I assume... Okay, we didn't win a Manager of the Year that year, interestingly enough. And this one was a lot longer. This one was our longest period of time at a club. 70 years we spent at this club. And this was because... I had 3 stadiums built at this club. I had one built very early after a player, and then one after me. And then I was like, if I stay longer, I will get another 100,000-seater stadium, because I want to get 100,000-seater stadium at each Welsh club. I've got one at Afan Lido, and I've got 2 60,000-seaters at Penny Bont and Port Talbot, but I stayed until 22-39, which is when we got a 103,000-seater stadium put in, and I thought I might as well go to 22-40 to make it a bit of a rounder number, and then at this point I'm going to resign and move to a different club where we will start our journey from there. So to show you what the league is like, It's a bit crazy. If I show you the league, it's obviously you have these massive clubs. We've got these 4 super giant clubs that all sort of trade places. And then obviously also actually Aberystwyth, who are actually rich themselves and become a super club themselves. They kind of fall off every once in a while. They've recently had a bit of poor form, but they actually have done very well and won the league a few times. If we look through the competition, obviously when we're at a club, the sort of the step over period, it sort of will change a bit, but you can see a lot of it. And this is where we switched over from Port Talbot to Penny Bont. Aber won it there, Aberystwyth there, Afan Lido, Port Talbot, and then there's Port Talbot again. And then here's the dominance of Afan Lido. And then just before that, there was TNS, who were obviously the original dominant team in the Welsh League. But there's the league. It's obviously we are now the top competition in the world, which is a bit crazy due to our coefficients being so good. The French league, the Portuguese league is very good. Spanish league, the English league is down in 10th, which is a bit crazy. The Ukrainian Premier League is above them. It doesn't make sense. At the moment, we currently have the top 5 nations and Wales loaded. So we got England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and then Wales loaded at the moment, which is a lot of stuff has changed. If you look at our squad, we've got one of the best squads in the world. Probably, yeah, I would say probably. It's a bit of a weakened squad at the moment. I sell a lot of players, but we've got some of the best players. It's funny comparing this to FM21. This looks so sort of retro and ancient. You got the old sort of regen faces and whatnot, and the old UI layout. But I'm so used to this. So a lot has happened. This is our current season. If I show you the Champions League, we've won the Champions League quite a few times ourselves. We won it a record 65 times with Haverfordwest. If we look at the past winners, a lot of Welsh sides. There's a lot of random clubs. Benfica have actually lost in the final 3 years in a row now. A lot of Portuguese sides get there. Barnsley, as you can see, that's a bit of a hint as to what happens in the league there. Lots of Haverfordwest winning it. There's the little step over period where we switch clubs. Another sort of period where we switch clubs. Zenit won it. Porto, Monaco, Aberystwyth won it. And then we go and we look here. Colne won it. Sorrento were in the final. It's a lot has changed. And then there's back here where we were trying to win it before. But yeah, I'll show you the Premier League. The Premier League is also one of the most interesting, I feel. I love looking at the Premier League because it is just what happens in the Premier League is insane. Let's find Man United. So we'll look at Man United real quick and see where they are in the league. It does take a little bit to load clubs due to the fact that they have to load 200 years of history, especially for the loaded clubs. As you can see, Man United are in League One currently. They are in the playoff final, so they might go back up. But yeah, Man United are in League One. Aston Villa, Burnley. Who else? There's the Crystal Palace are down there. If you go to look in League Two, who's in League Two at the moment from the Premier League? No one, it seems. Wolves are down there. Obviously, in FM15, they were already quite down here. Vanarama Conference, we've got Leeds down here, Blackpool, Portsmouth. Okay, if we go all the way up to the Championship, Hull just beat Hampton and Richmond. Liverpool sitting in 6th in the Premier League. Barnsley have just got re-promoted after winning the Premier League a few years ago. Hull and Swansea. There's Liverpool. There's Leicester. There's Watford. Reading. But now if we look at the Premier League, Arsenal have just finished their 6th title in a row, beating Middlesbrough and Derby, who are my affiliates. Stoke 4th, Bournemouth 5th, West Ham 6th, Sunderland, Chesterfield, there's Chelsea are there, Fulham, Sheffield United, Ipswich, Newcastle, Stevenage, Man City, Nottingham Forest, Everton, and then Charlton, Southampton, Tottenham are relegated. So it's crazy. If we look, looking at the competition history here is insane when you look at it. So I guess we go from the start. Obviously, you had the domination period. Then you had Everton winning it crazily. More Liverpool and United. Brentford and Northampton winning it. Brentford. Doncaster had a dominant spell coming through. Burnley wins it. Brighton wins it. Tottenham had a 5-year spell of domination. Then Northampton again. Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday. Sunderland. Cardiff won it. Fulham won it. Then United came back and won it. Hull won it, who were actually my affiliates at the time. Swindon. More Tottenham, then a good long dominant period from United again. Reading, Arsenal, Newcastle, Marine, the first non-league club to win the Premier League I saw there. And then Arsenal again, Bournemouth, Sheffield United had a period of dominance. Back to Brighton and Fulham. Middlesbrough had a fantastic period of dominance here, followed by Liverpool's period. Then Barnsley, and now Arsenal currently back on a dominant spell and won it 6 years on the trot. So It's insane. If we'll show you the World Cup too. The World Cups, we've had loads of World Cups at this point. We recently had the 22-38 World Cup, and now we've got the 22-42 World Cup hosted in Egypt. And as you can see, England are the winners. A lot of crazy winners. We've had the usuals win it until Slovenia win it in 2058, which was a bit of a shock. Then the usuals, then Turkey won it. It took a long time for England to win it. It took until 21-14 for England to win it. So hopefully that doesn't happen in real life. But then we did win it a few years later. Denmark go on to win it. Then England again. Turkey. Then England win it 2 years in a row. 2 times in a row. And then nearly get the third, but lose to Paraguay for the World Cup. Chile have won it. England, Serbia, and then England beat Ecuador in the final for the World Cup. So there's a lot going on. We've currently got the Euros going on, which has got a similar thing. I think Denmark have won the Euros as well. There's Ukraine, I think, are the current holders. It's a lot of craziness going on. But yeah, I will take you now to our next team that we'll be taking to Twitch with us. Okay, so our next club, the one we will be taking on to Twitch and probably through in YouTube a little bit again, is Barry Town. Now, these guys, founded in 2013, these were the original people that used to win the Welsh Prem all the time. If we look back into the past winners, if you go all the way back to the start here, Barry, the original Barry Town, were extinct, and now it is just Barry. So we will be taking them back up to glory, hopefully. We've currently we're a little bit further forward, so I've been playing a little bit. And that we're now at our 5th club. So it's going to be crazy because we're back in the doldrums again. We're expected to finish 9th in the league out of 12, I think. So we're just above the relegation spots. It's going to be a tough one, especially as we've got another stipulation on us at the moment, which is, if I show you it, we are not allowed to sign any players from the top 15 nations each year. So for the 2022, the 22-40-41 season, these are the top 15 nations. You've got England, Netherlands, France, Brazil, Russia, Italy, Spain, Czech Republic, Romania, Portugal, Croatia, Slovenia, Argentina, Ecuador, and Scotland. So we cannot sign any players from those teams. And if I look at my scouting, I've got all of these players that says, do not include these players here. It's interesting because, as you can see there, Belgium and Germany aren't included there. They are actually ranked a lot worse. If I show you the world rankings at the currently, I took this at the start of the season, so it might have changed slightly. That it has changed slightly. So Albania now 15th, Argentina have dropped out, but Belgium still down here. Germany have moved up to 11th. They've moved 11 spots. So I take it from the start of each year. So we got away with that one slightly. Suriname up 24. It's a crazy situation. What happens going on? Portugal up 7 places. Wales are up 21. Thank God for that, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to sign any players from Wales this year. But yeah, it is it's something. But basically, I think Saturday I'm streaming. Hopefully, we'll see. And I'm going to be starting this new season, with our 5th Welsh club. And we can go through more stuff. I will be going through more YouTube videos. I got a bit carried away just going through everything on this already, but I'm planning on doing more videos of interesting things that have happened this year. If there's anything you want to see, like Premier League champions or La Liga champions or French, Italian, German champions, any managers, like who's the best manager, who's the best players. I'm planning on doing one of the best goal scorer I've ever had. But yeah, this is my ongoing attempt for the world record, and I will be streaming it and showing it to you live. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll be back, hopefully, for some more record breaking.